Emotional seduction. How mature men turn her on without touching her. There's a reason some men can make a woman's thighs quiver without ever laying a hand on her. It's not magic. It's not manipulation. It's emotional seduction, the lost art of making a woman feel so desired, understood, and seen that her body responds before her clothes even come off. For the mature man, emotional seduction isn't a game. It's an energy, a presence, a mastery of subtle influence that reaches her deepest feminine core. It's confidence without arrogance, sensuality without sleaze. In this video, we'll dive deep into how mature men emotionally seduce women through tone, teasing, presence, and inner authority. Because at the end of the day, you don't need to undress her. You need to unravel her. The psychology behind emotional seduction. Women are wired differently from men when it comes to arousal. Sure, they can be visually stimulated. But for most women, especially mature ones who know themselves, the real turn-on is emotional. They crave feeling wanted, feeling safe to surrender, feeling deeply connected. They want to be mentally and emotionally disarmed, gently, artfully, so their body naturally follows. Physical attraction matters, but emotional arousal supercharges physical desire. This is why a man who gets into her head will soon have full access to her heart and body. 1. Voice tone. How you say it is hotter than what you say. Of all the tools a mature man can use to seduce a woman without ever laying a finger on her, his voice is easily one of the most potent, and yet it's one of the most overlooked. Most men obsess over what to say, scrambling for the perfect line, but the real masters know. How you say it matters far more. Your tone, that low, slow, resonant sound that seems to come from deep inside your chest, can awaken something primal in a woman. It's not just about speaking. It's about vibrating through her, stirring her body's instincts long before her mind catches up. A slightly lowered pitch, not forced or cartoonishly deep, but naturally relaxed. Unhurried words and well-placed pauses can make the space between your sentences throb with unspoken tension. Speaking slowly tells her you're in full control, of yourself, of the moment, of her rising need. Let your words drip, not sprint. Let them wrap around her like invisible hands. And when you finish a sentence with a soft, downward inflection, not a question, but a statement, a quiet certainty, it anchors her to your presence. Imagine telling her, not in a rushed blur, but in a voice like warm velvet sliding over her skin. You look absolutely irresistible tonight. Done right, you won't need to touch her. Her body will react all on its own, thighs pressing together, breath catching, heart pounding in delicious surrender. Emotional seduction begins not in grand gestures, but in mastering the slow, devastating art of how you sound when you want her. 2. Erotic teasing. Planting thoughts she can't shake. Erotic teasing is one of the most powerful tools a mature man can wield because it's not just playful. It's foreplay for her mind, and a woman's mind is where true arousal begins. The best teasing doesn't just make her smile. It stirs something deeper, slipping under her skin and planting thoughts she can't shake no matter how hard she tries. It's not about being crude. It's about being clever, suggestive, and just a little dangerous. Instead of showering her with obvious compliments, withhold a little, create delicious tension. Instead of "you look amazing," smirk and say, "you're trouble." And you know exactly what you're doing. Drop hints about pleasures you're not offering yet. Whisper in her ear, "If you behave, maybe I'll let you hear everything I'm thinking about you right now." Let everyday conversations drip with accidental innuendo. Say things like, "That dress should come with a warning label." It's dangerously distracting. Erotic teasing forces her imagination to fill in the blanks, and once you've engaged her mind like that, her body will soon follow. Teasing engages her imagination, and a woman's imagination is her most powerful erogenous zone. If you can make her think dirty, you've already made her feel dirty, and from there, it's a short, thrilling fall into deeper seduction. 3. Presence, the ultimate aphrodisiac. Presence is one of the rarest and most devastatingly sexy qualities a man can offer. And for mature women who've been around long enough to spot bullshit from a mile away, it's the ultimate aphrodisiac. In a world full of distracted, restless men who can't sit still for 5 minutes without checking their phones or chasing their next thought, the man who gives a woman his full, undivided attention becomes unforgettable. Presence isn't about saying the right thing or plotting your next move. It's about being there fully and unapologetically. It's steady eye contact that softens into something intimate, the kind of gaze that says without a word, "I see you." It's deep listening, tuning into not just what she says, but what she feels, reading between the lines and responding to the emotions she doesn't say out loud. It's stillness, no nervous fidgeting or restless tapping, but slow, deliberate movements that show control and confidence. It's breathing deeply, consciously, grounding yourself in the moment so that she can feel safe letting go. When a woman feels truly seen and felt, her defenses melt, her body softens, and her mind begins to wander to places where she wants to be touched, held, and taken, even if you haven't laid a single hand on her. Emotional seduction at its highest level isn't about what you do to her. It's about the experience she has simply because you're there. 4. Inner command, the silent power that turns her on. Inner command is the silent, magnetic force that seduces a woman before you even open your mouth. It's the way a man's relationship with himself speaks louder than any pickup line ever could. It's about self-ownership, emotional sovereignty, and the unshakable certainty of knowing exactly who you are without needing to prove it to anyone, least of all her. Women are exquisitely sensitive to this. They feel it the moment you walk into a room. When you possess inner command, you don't force attention, you don't beg for affection, and you sure as hell don't chase, you invite. You move through the world as though you know your value, and if she's smart enough to come closer, that's her reward. You validate yourself first. Her approval is a cherry on top, not your lifeline. You set clear boundaries, not out of anger, but out of self-respect, and that strength is pure sexual fuel to a woman who craves a man who won't crumble under pressure. When tension arises, and trust me, a woman worth having will test you, you don't flinch, you smile, you stay grounded, and you hold your frame without losing warmth. You lead the interaction with a steady hand, suggesting plans, guiding conversations, initiating touch when appropriate, all without ever seeming needy or aggressive. Inner command seduces at the deepest level because it quietly tells her, "You're safe with me. I know where we're going." And there's nothing that melts a woman faster, because when she feels that combination of strength and safety, her body responds with a ferocity that few men ever get to witness. Conclusion: true emotional seduction isn't mechanical. It's layered. It's the low, slow voice, the teasing words that leave her grinning, the deep, still presence, the quiet, unshakable self-assurance. Together, these elements compound into irresistible energy. She starts to feel different around you. Her breath quickens. Her pupils dilate. Her laughter becomes softer and warmer. Her body orients itself toward you without her realizing. And you haven't even touched her yet. That's real power.